What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. The internet is losing its mind in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe right now. Reddit, Zodiac, they're all clamoring over this new Orcust cards as if Orcust needed another broken starter and extender. We're gonna start the video with him. There is a new Madolche card, there's a new Thunder Dragon card, Goukis, there's a ton. I've only read a couple of them though, as the rest of Etco is leaking. We're just gonna start with this guy though and talk about him. Mech Knight Orcust Girsu is a Dark Machine effect, level 4, 1800. You can only use this card's names first and second effects once per turn each. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Orcust card or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard, so World 1. Also, if there are 2 or more other cards in this card's column, this card is treated for a tuner for the rest of the turn. Why not just help make Needle Fiber? In addition, if you control no other monsters, so this is your opening play, you can special summon one World Legacy token, Machine, Dark level 1, attack 0, defense 0, to each side of the field in defense position. That token you're giving your opponent probably won't matter too much for the turbo out in Orcust that this man's is. This is crazy. Now, we do have a March list for Japan and a June list for them because they're still cyclical lists. We should have 2 lists before our WCQ, but it was just a slight little slap on the wrist for Orcust on their last list, and we're 2 lists behind them, so oh boy, this is pretty crazy as we head towards the WCQ season. Let's see what else is running around. We got Madolche Salon. This is one of the ones I've gotten to read. It's a continuous spell. You can only use this card's name second effect once per turn each. While this card is in your spell and trap zone, you can normal summon a Madolche monster during your main phase in addition to your normal summoner set per turn. So a Madolche named double summon. If a Madolche card you control or have in the graveyard, except this card is returned to your hand or shuffled into the deck, you can set a Madolche spell or trap directly from your deck to the field, thus helping out the new trap card even more. Pretty darn crazy. I really like where Madolches are now really headed towards. They're getting their turn 1 plays, they're getting their boards they're setting up. They're gaining a lot of traction here, especially with this card. Witchcraft Patronus, a continuous trap card. You can only use this effect of this card's name once per turn. Target one of your spellcaster monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, shuffled into the deck, and if you do, add one witchcrafter spell from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn sent there, you can banish it, then target any number of your banished witchcrafter spells with different names, add them to your hand. That's a pretty good Witchcrafter card too, geesh. Burning Draw, we already knew about this card. Xyz Revive Splash. Then we have Trias Hyratia, a light fairy effect, level 9, 1900/2900. You can only use this card's name's effect once per turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you contribute up to 3 fairy monsters. Special summon this card, but banish it if it leaves the field. In addition, apply one of these effects based on how many monsters tributed. So 1, you just special summon it. 2 or more, you destroy a card your opponent controls. 3, draw 2 cards. So you're attempting to gain additional bonuses by tributing fairies. It's one of those more generic type helping cards, it would seem. Magical Hound, I think this boy's good. Earth Machine, tuner effect, level 1, 500/800, so Naturia Beast Helper. You can only use this card's name's effect once per duel. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target a face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. Basically, you can play this as a little bit of side deck fodder to help get rid of certain floodgates that your opponent would be playing, or True Draco matchup, and force their cards early. I kind of think it's a cute card. It reminds me of Trap Eater, but you get like a little more going for you. Goukis Ironclaw, Earth Warrior effect, level 2, 1000/0. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. The first effect, from the start of the damage step until the start of damage calculation, when a Goukis monster you control is battling an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Your battling monster gains 500 attack and becomes unaffected by your opponent's card effects. I did not read that part. That's pretty crazy. These changes last until the end of this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Goukis card from your deck to your hand, except Iron Calls. So the hand effect's not going to gain you the advantage. You're looking at a potential booster that you would revive later with rematch and then continue to lane climb. This is a pretty dang good card. Torpedo Takedown is in this picture. We also have the Jack Knight, the Mech Knight that we just went over. Heavy Forward, a continuous spell. You can activate one card with this card's name per turn. When this card is activated, you can add an Infinitrack monster from your deck to your hand. Infinitrack Rhoda, yo! Once per turn, you can target one Machine Xyz monster you control, activate one of these effects. Change its battle position. Oh, that's important because they summon back in defense. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or attach this card as a material, so if you're low... Oh, this is a pretty good card. I really like where they went. A Rhoda that... Wow. That's cool, and it's continuous. So if they don't deal with it, you're just going places. Then you also have Splash Mage and Stairs of Mail. Let's see here. Cataclysmic Crisp Chillbrain, a water fairy effect, level 8, 2600/200. You can only use this card's name as effect once per turn. If a face-up water monster or monsters, Mermaid Landing, you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand and then send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. So it's opponent reliant, but it's like a hand trap, and they can be trying to force their way up, and then you just hit something out of the hand. Right now, a lot of decks are very Grave Resource, but this is still cool. I like this, but very opponent reliant. We've got the Thunder Dragon Sky Rumble. I read this card. You bet I did. This is a level 9 3000/2000. Luckily not a tuner. So cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one level 8 or lower Thunder monster from your hand or face up on the field during the turn a Thunder monster's effect is activated in hand. So you have to have already activated one, and then you have to get rid of a resource that's not engraved. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, including a Thunder monster. Then target a Thunder monster you control. It cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effects for the rest of this turn. So it's a preemptive kind of helping hand to one of your boss monsters. And then once per turn during your end phase, you can send one Thunder Dragon card from your deck to the graveyard. I'm trying not to view the new Orcust card and this card in the light of the current ban lists, but boy, Thunder Dragons don't need help with the new Master Rule. They need some hits. We've got Noctovision Dragon, a Dark Dragon effect, level 7, it's 0 attack and 2800 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn. Level 7 Dark Dragon. Did we just get a Dark Dragon ruler question mark? If a Dark Dragon monster or monsters is special summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a link material, you can draw a card. Okay, for any kind of link material. When an opponent's card or effect that targets a face-up card you control is activated, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate that effect, and if you do, your opponent cannot target that card with card effects for the rest of the turn. I would have thought they would have kept being so dragon-specific when they start with a Dark Dragon, but then they just go very, very generic. Whoa. Hey, Dark Dragons, that reminds me of a certain Guard Dragon engine. Wow, this is kind of a cool extender, and it's level 7. We kind of did get a Dark Dragon ruler in some senses. Titan Osider, a trap normal. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck specifically. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, negate its effects. So it's a better loss win against extra deck summoned monsters. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card's in your graveyard, except during the turn that this card was sent there, you can set this card to your field. So I think Lost Wind is against all special summon monsters, and then comes back if they special from the extra. So this is a more specific, but more it's harsher on the monster being summoned, but it's a little more specific in what you can actually stop. We've got Pinpoint Dash, a trap normal. You can activate one card with this card's name per turn. Each player selects one card from their own face down extra deck and reveals them, and if they're the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link, send the opponent's card to the graveyard and special summon your card. Then if the cards were of the same original attribute and type, your opponent loses life points equal to this card's attack. Basically for mirror matches, question mark? If they were not the same card type, send your card to the graveyard and your opponent special summons their card. This seems like you're in a losing battle, but we're continuing the Pinpoint cards. Marincess Link, I haven't gotten to read this, I'm very excited. Marincess Great Bubble Reef, a Water Cyverse, level Link 4, attacks 2600, 2+ water monsters. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can banish one water monster from your graveyard or face up on the field, draw a card. You have to leave it out there a whole turn and get there. Okay. At least it's not this Link Summon card or something. Each time a monster is banished, this card gains 600 attack until the end of this turn. Whoa, that's a little Mage-y. You can send one water monster from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon one of your banished Marincess monsters. That's a cool little trick. At Link 4, though, I don't feel like it's fixed in the deck, but it's still cool. And then finally, Landscraper Goldilocks. Wait, this is a level 10 Earth Machine, 0/3000. Okay. If this card is normal or special summoned, destroy it unless it is in the center main monster zone. What a specific thing. Gains 3000 attack while it's in the center main monster zone. Okay, choo-choo. Once per turn, you can select one of your unused main monster zones, switch this card's location to that zone, then destroy all cards in the columns between this card's old column and its current column, except this card? How freaking specific. This is a funny one. I do like it. It's one of those funny design cards. I dig it. I dig it. Overall, I do think out of these reveals, this set is bonkers. I am really liking where Eternity Code has gone, and you're going to need some real big TCG exclusives to make anything look close to this, and of course, we're going to have TCG exclusives in the set. Boy, this is our last update before the WCQ, I think. This set turned out really well as a shakeup, but I do hope we get some harsher hits to Orcust along the way, especially with the Master Rule. Let me know what you guys think of Eternity Code. I know a lot of you are going to be talking about the new Mech Knight Orcust in the comment section down below, but let me know what you think about everything. If you're excited about something else specific, disappointed, and maybe a certain thing, or maybe I'm overly disappointed and you think it's good, let me know what you guys think about these cards. Wow, what a set of reveals to end out this already crazy